So my friend Melanie made a video recently that I was like, yo, good video. And I wanted to respond to it, you know, like we used to do in the olden days. There's a link to her video in the description. She's also just like a good person who I think you should watch and do things like that. Melanie, a fellow bi, someone else who is also bi, talked about what she called her bisexual dilemma. And this is something that I've talked about a whole heck of a lot. I've had conversations with so many people about my perception of the proportion of men to women who are into me. I've talked about my attraction to people based on their genders and the proportions of all those things. In fact, there's a video on my channel called Why I Don't Date Men. How I appeal to people, be they straight or queer, has been something that has had a profound effect on my identity and how I've gone about exploring that identity and how I've gone about expressing that identity. And I'm not going to discount that process for sure. I think it was my process. This is how this happened. This is what went down. But recently, and by recently I mean like in super recent months, I have not been thinking about that kind of stuff, and it has been really liberating for me. That's not to say that I haven't been thinking about my identity, because I have been. My bisexuality remains a really big part of my identity. It also remains something that I still feel like I have so much to learn about personally, and how I express that, and how I engage with other people in relationships and dating and all that stuff. I think it's an ongoing process. What I've been avoiding thinking about is my appearance to other people. That's what I've been trying to avoid, because I became obsessed with it, and part of it is not my fault. Part of it is just sort of the onus that we put on like gender non-conforming or people who have non-binary sexualities. We put on them to sort of prove their identity and put it in specific terms that the rest of the population can find to be easily digestible. A common question you'll get all the time is, what percentage attracted to whatever gender are you? And I just think that is so like misguided, and I also think that that's just like unnecessary to do to people. Personal belief time, I think humans defy quantification at a fundamental level. I think we're gonna try and do it anyway because it helps us to understand the world around us, but I think there are some things that we just cannot put numbers to and put in boxes, and that's fine and that's okay. Some people exist outside of the boxes and they don't want to be put in the boxes, so that's fine, that's cool, that's great. I used to be incredibly worried, and this is a fear that was confirmed many times. I was always worried that that my identity was going to be perceived as a cry for attention, or as a means to get more exposure, or just as like a device in order to make myself feel different to the world. And it's not that. It's not that at all. However, it has not stopped people from believing that to be the case. I've had family members, I've had therapists, I've had people I interact with on a day-to-day basis accuse me as such, and that's not good. I don't like that. What that has done historically to me is forced me to think about, am I queer enough? Am I performing bisexuality in a way that people can actually believe it? Like, and I'm at a phase now where I just could not care less about that anymore. I really wish that people figuring out who they are didn't feel a need to prove that to anyone. I think on the one hand it's good that people generally require proof to when people make claims, but on the other hand, with identity, you as a person outside of the person saying who they are don't have any vote in that. I guess why I'm making this video is because I would like to just sort of throw out that recently I have been feeling extremely good about not bringing anyone else's opinion into my expression of who I am as a person. I've been feeling really good about that. The other reason why I'm making this is to say to anyone who is confused right now, or who is questioning parts of themselves, or maybe they're just exploring sides of their identity that they've never been allowed to explore, I want to say to you that don't listen to anyone. Every single day in your life you are writing the story of your life. That is what you're doing, and you're the author of that. You are not co-writing it with anyone else. No one's ghostwriting that story for you. That you are the author of that. You're not the only character, you're not the only person whose opinion matters, but at the end of the day, you are the one who is in charge of that story. My heart breaks anytime I see somebody who is bowing down to pressure from outside forces saying, no, this is not actually what you are. This is what you are. When those people have no insight into actually what's going on in someone's head and what's going on in someone's heart. Human sexuality and gender expression are not things that can be diagnosed from an outside perspective. They are things that historically have rejected any and all quantification and diagnosis, even though people have tried forever. Your mission, your job as a human being is to live as authentically to your truth as you possibly can. And your understanding of your truth is, it's never complete, I don't think. I think all of us are confused on some level as to who we are and what we want. But our job is to just keep exploring that and just keep moving forward and trying to be the best kind of people that we can be. Here's what I'm trying to do with my life. I'm trying to let go of any and all preconceptions as to who I'm supposed to be given how I describe myself. I'm trying to just be me in the way that feels best and try not to think about how I'm being perceived. That sounds also very nice and in a nice little bow there, but it's incredibly difficult, and it's something that I still struggle with every single day, and I'm only just trying to explore this freedom from the opinions of other people. And this isn't just with sexuality stuff, this isn't just with like gender stuff. Like I have my video right now, it's like now my second most viewed video, it's about my addiction. It is being bombarded with so many awful, horrible comments about people trying to explain my life and my problems to me. And in that video, it's another theme that I talk about there. It's that you are the only person who has the ability to accurately describe who you are, because you're the only person who is you. And I guess that is the central theme of what I'm trying to say in this video. Sorry if I rambled. I'm just very against the notion that somebody outside of yourself has the ability to tell you who you are on a fundamental level. It also breaks my heart that that has a very real effect on how people live their truths and their lives. This is just something that's really important to me. I love you. I think you're doing great. Even if you're not doing objectively great, you'll figure it out. You're figuring stuff out. I'm gonna go. If you have any comments or thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below, and I'm gonna see you guys next time on Monday. Listen, sometimes when you're growing your hair out, you end up having the hair of like the bully in like the 90s movie for a little bit. And listen, I know, we're gonna suffer through it together.